So till now we have discussed about the SMART DCR's basic functions, and I told you about the GDCR and PCPIR, right? Two categories of industries that we have. Now the next part comes as in submission type. Now in the submission type category we have three categories again. The three categories that includes the subdivision part, then we have amalgamation, and third category that we have is the building plan approval system. Again, if you go further for the allotted area part, again in the allotted area you have this five categories, that is housing plot, DPMS, industrial plot, industrial shade, and commercial plot. For these three categories separate drawing files are required for the land division and for these three different cases, right? Now for the amalgamation part you can provide by drawing initial plots with unique plot names on underscore plot layer and amalgamated plot on underscore amalgamation layer. Give unique name to amalgamate plot on underscore amalgamation layer, for example AM1. Similarly for the subdivision category you can provide it by drawing initial plots with unique plot names on underscore plot layer and subdivided plot on underscore subdivision layer, for example SD1, SD2 likewise. Now the next one is building plan approval. So in that case by drawing plot on plot layer with primary work inside plot having all the proposed building details, you can follow further. In the next category we have the allotted area. Now allotted area is again divided in the following conditions: the housing plot condition, DPMS, industrial plot, industrial shade, and commercial plot. So these are the categories which are related to your drawing category submission. Now again in this particular you have to take care the applicability of the regulations, right? So in this particular you may have subdivisions or category depending upon the type of drawing you want to submit, for the approval, right? Now in that case we have few major categories. Let's take a look. So the first one is the development and construction, then it can be a part construction, change of occupancy, then reconstruction or development of sites, or what you can say subdivision or amalgamation of land, as I discussed. It can be in the form of revised permission as well, right? So let's discuss one by one. Now for the first category, that is the development and construction. So in this case, except as hereinafter otherwise provided, these regulations shall apply to all the development, redevelopment, erection and or re-erection of building, change of user, etc., as well as to design, construct or reconstruction, addition and alterations to a building. All these categories falls in this particular segment. Then it can be part construction, where the whole or part of a building is demolished or altered or reconstruction or removed, except where otherwise specifically stipulated. These regulations apply only to the extent of the work involved, right? Then it can be in the form of change of occupancy, where the occupancy or the user of a building is changed, except where otherwise specifically stipulated. These regulations shall apply to all the parts of the building affected by the change. Then reconstruction. So the reconstruction in a whole part or part of a building which has ceased to exist due to an accident, fire, natural collapse or demolition, having been declared unsafe, or which is likely to be demolished by or under an order of the authority, and for which the necessary certificate has been given by the authority, shall be allowed subject to the provisions in the regulations. Okay, so all this falls under the reconstruction category. Similarly, it can be the other situation where land is to be developed, subdivided, or two or more plots are to be amalgamated, right? Now many of you have confusion about the amalgamation. Basically, an amalgamation is a combination of two or more plots as a single plot. Now the next category falls as in revised permission. Now any development permission granted earlier may be revised provided that third party interest established in pursuance of such permissions, if any, are not adversely affected. Now in such case, consent of the adversely affected person shall be necessary if required under RERA, right? Now while granting the revised permission, the approved plans and commencement certificate of the earlier permission with the office shall be stamped as superseded by the authority, right? And one more category it can be fall for the regulation part, that is the exclusions. Now nothing in this regulation shall require the removal, alteration or abandonment or prevent the continuance of the lawfully established use or occupancy of an existing building or its use, unless in the opinion of the authority such a building is unsafe or constitutes a hazard to the safety of the adjacent property. So that falls under the exclusion part. So this particular situations can be applicable for the regulations part, and you need to take care for all these conditions, right? So in the next class we will discuss the drawing part, how you have to take care about the drawing part while you provide a submission. Stay connected, keep learning. Thank you.